you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to the knees and show gratitude. Kiss my ring, chick.
This song right here is for all the fellas out there taking care of business and making that money to provide for their ladies, provide for their family. And to all the ladies out there, the fellas are gonna need a little bit more than a big piece of chicken. If you got a good man and you want for nothing, and you wanna keep that man, you need to learn how to check that attitude. You need to show some appreciation. You need to show some respect. Girl, you need to bow down. All my fellas, tell your ladies. Bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Kiss the ring, bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Pay homage to the king in your life. Wisdom and security, I give that. Devotion and honesty, I show that. Passion and love, you feel that? Bow down, girl, you need to show some respect. Obedience and loyalty, I need that. Friendship and trust, I've earned that. Gratitude, appreciation, I deserve that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Baby girl, what's the deal? Got no time for freaking girl, you're acting mad at. Never want for nothing cause I'm paying the bill. Sleeping all day, the house is filled with no meal. Come on, girl, give me some feedback. Let me know what's good, what's up. Where's your head at? Giving me attitude, not today, girl. Dead that. Strip off them clothes, I'm tryna beat that. Bed that. You're really saying not tonight? Not tonight. My blood is boiling hot, girl. You're getting me tight. Aw, man. To the right. Don't let that door hit your ass when you leave. You talking like you hot, you not. Shorty, I know dime pieces, trust me, you not. I can get a next chick, next one. Like Gucci said, in the next 15 minutes. You ain't special, don't be foolish. Running around town like you rich, no, I'm rich. Without me, you wouldn't even have that. I'm Scrooge McDuck swimming in money. Hold my top hat. Park Avenue lifestyle, you love it. You're acting out of order and now you're gonna lose it. You claim that you're in love with me, in love with me. You wanna be my wifey, be my wifey. That's looking pretty bleak, unlikely. You should've paid homage, girl, you fucked up. Can't do it, no more, I'm done. I'm fed up, game over, clock ran out. Girl, your time's up, get your things, have a nice life. Keep your head up like Shaq and Kobe was a good team. But now we broke up, should've bowed to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Kiss the ring, bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Pay homage to the king in your life. Wisdom and security, I give that. Devotion and honesty, I show that. Passion and love, you feel that? Bow down, girl, you need to show some respect. Obedience and loyalty, I need that. Friendship and trust, I've earned that. Gratitude, appreciation, I deserve that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Come on, girl, you know you love it. Stop tripping in front and no shame to do it. All I do for you, bow down, kiss that. Pucker up, girl, you need to show some respect. Come on, girl, you know you love it. Stop tripping in front and no shame to do it. All I do for you, girl, you know you better kiss that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Come on, you know you love it. Come on, you know you love it. What you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to them knees and show gratitude. Come on, you know you love it. Come on, girl, you know you love it. What you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to the knees and show gratitude. Kiss my ring, chick.
Get him up. Age, city, gender. How are you doing?
can stop me. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what.
Incognito.
Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
I don't know if I want to cap that much today. Bop. We are back. How we doing? Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, I've been gone for a minute, but your godfather is back in the house, and the house is packed. So you know how we're gonna do this, but got a little housekeeping to do for a second. So y'all don't mind me while we get the likes up. I gotta finish sorting through this stuff real quick. Then we get on back. So give me a few minutes, get the likes up, and then we'll get into the program. Okay. Baccarat crystal. I like Baccarat crystal. I don't know if you guys have any crystal, but Baccarat makes great crystal and also makes great fragrance. And that's what's in here, Red Bull. Yep, Baccarat, Red Bull out of a Baccarat crystal. Doesn't get much more bougie than that, does it? Oh, where are my manners? Candle of the evening. None other from the new one from La Labo. Still incense 9. And the air hasn't come on yet. Where is the air? Come on here. There we go. That's better. That's better. Put all this stuff up. Oh, and the fragrance of the evening. This is an exclusive from Bergdorf's. From, I don't know how to pronounce the name. All I know is I love it. Called 10019. My old zip code in New York. 10019. From Ex Nihilo. So I keep this thing covered up because it's that daggum important. So now we're finished polishing, sorting through all that, stuff that I was doing. I ain't shit. Oh, I ain't shit, but I love it. So, anywho, how we doing? How we doing? Guys, keep the likes up, keep the engagement up. Oh, yes. If you've never seen, I normally never wear hats, but when I go out of the house, this is my hat. Oh, and that's some Hermes too. Huh. Strange. I don't know about you guys, but when I go to Hermes, I shop. I don't know about you, but strangely enough, what do you do when you go to Hermes? Oh, I know. It's crazy, ain't it? What's been going on? You go to Hermes, you shop. You go to VA, you shop. Go to Baccarat, you shop. You go to Popeyes, you shop. You go to Chick-fil-A, you shop. So all I'm saying is, you might want to get your glasses checked or check your sources, because I know when I go places, I buy stuff, and the managers and my rep know me because they special order stuff. So defamation is real. Just saying. Can't just sit back and say, oops, that was an opinion when you make a declaratory statement on a syndicated broadcast or anything like that. So I'm just saying. Just saying. When we go out, we shop. We shop for ourselves and we shop for other people. Shout out to Smashley when I was in Houston. Oh, yeah. I was in Houston. And as I was hanging out in Houston and picked that one up. They don't give those to people who just kind of hang out. You got to actually put some money out there for that one. So normally I don't. But I'm so busy traveling between here and here. I have to maximize my time. So I wanted to polish up some stuff that I'm going to take to Scottsdale with me. Because it's going to be 100 degrees in Arizona. So you got to dress differently than you would when you're headed east. Okay? So, oh my God, too easy. Too easy. This fragrance smells so good. So, as we get into it, I want to thank all you guys. I took a little small hiatus. I need a little break. Sometimes you just gotta take a little time off, and it was Mother's Day. Spent some time with the family. And also, when I went home, it's a great time to catch up with family members. And when you catch up with family members, it's a great time to go through things like, your old memories, your report cards. And I was really going through some stuff. And I went through my yearbook. Through the Eye of a Falcon, the Talon, 1987. Man. And I'm amazed at the amount of interesting things that are in this book. Y'all want to see something fun? All right. Y'all see my hair is short now. But back in the 80s, everybody had long hair. My hair is naturally curly, and it grew long. So when I was a drum major, that's what I looked like. That's your boy. That's your godfather right there. Drum major. And when you're a drum major when you're in a black band, it's like when you're in a black band in Oklahoma City, the Millwood Marching Falcons were the coldest band in Oklahoma City. People came from all around to listen to our drum line, because when you're in a black band, it's actually better than being on the football team or the basketball team. We were the show. So it's not like being in the band at other schools. Oh, look, our class valedictorian. Dressed like a woman with a wig on. It was the 80s. Let's see. And everything was in black and white back then. So I was just sitting here looking. I'm like, man, I wonder what everybody's doing these days. Because most folks don't leave Oklahoma. Many people left but come back home. And as I'm thumbing through this book, it brought back all kinds of memories. Lots of good ones. Because when I was in school, not only did I work a part-time job. It's hot in here. The air conditioner wasn't on when I got back. Not only did I work a part-time job to help take care of bills around the house, I volunteered at my church. I tutored. I saved money for college. I helped my aunt out with her bills, both of my aunts. And I managed to graduate 5th in my class with a 3.87 GPA. 3.8 or 3.7. 3.7. So, yeah. That's my senior class picture. There it is. And there's your godfather in the Coca-Cola shirt. Coca-Cola in the driver's seat because that boy was going places. Look at all those questionable people. They all look real suspect to me in those Coca-Cola shirts. Oh, but look at this one. Why does Kevin Samuels look so serious? That's the closest we had to color. And if you look at this yearbook, in the 80s, pictures were taken in a very weird way. Go back and look at Dr. Dre, Prince, MC Hammer, Morris Day. Everybody looked weird in the 80s, man. I mean, I went through here, my class graduating 77 people. Would you believe 6 of the 77 classified themselves as unique? The most interesting person classified themselves as what did he say? I don't want to dox him but you know, I'm going to say it anyway. He classified himself as voluptuary. Hey, pastor. Wow, he got his hands on his hips. That looks rather sus. But you know, he's a family man now and a pastor. But you know, it was the 80s, so if you weren't around then, you wouldn't understand. But looking at this book, memories. I grew up with these people. I went to the same school from 1st grade to 12th grade. The same 70-so people. And yes, that's your godfather. Live and in color. Let's see. Kevin Roshan Samuels, Fred, that's my nickname my aunt gave me because she said I had big feet like Fred Flintstone. Describes himself as unique. He enjoys dancing. Yeah, it's the 80s. Oh, you want to see the MHS dancers? So, see all the other guys that were in there? The assistant drum major was in there, plus 2 other guys I used to break dance with. Unfortunately, one passed on. And one is living in Japan now. So, yeah, dancing was a thing. I mean, you know, kid and play and all that stuff. So, maybe not today, but then it was a big thing. He enjoys clothes, obviously. Meeting people. Ha! He's a member of band. Yeah. Not only a member, he's the head of the band. Student council, stage band, first solo trumpeter. He may just dance at pep clubs, bronze gents. Didn't put the chess club in there. He plans to go to OU and major in biomed. And I almost did that. I went to OU. Didn't do biomed because I changed, because I decided I didn't want to go to medical school. But, you know, college is unfortunately cut differently when you come up with cancer. So, all things considered, a guy with yellow pants from the Chess King, Oak Tree, and a bunch of other crazy ass stores. That's what everybody looked like in the 80s, folks. That's what everybody looked like in the 80s. Good times. Like I said, good stuff going back home to see all that. More on that later. See, know thyself. Know thyself. And when you do, things tend to fall in place. Let's get into it. Why didn't you fight? Why didn't you fight? Well, where are the likes at before we do all this? We got to make sure that these likes are up. Oh, man, these likes should be way. We have almost 18,000 people in here. We're not up on the likes. Look, here's what's going to happen. You got 30 seconds to hit the like button, or we go straight to the intermission with all the loud music and this stuff. One thing you learn when one thing you learn is in life, you're going to have to fight. Sooner or later, you're going to have to fight. One thing I've often said, the primary rules for men, the primary rules are always the same. Men, we judge each other by two primitive rules. When all this electricity and computers, when it gets right down to it, when we go back to Stone Age, living in caves, man, we check each other by two things: fighting and fucking. Fighting and fucking. So that means as a man, that means as a person, you're going to have to fight sometimes. You're going to have to fight. And especially if you decide you want to be something in this life, be better than you were, you better be prepared to have to fight a lot of people, because not only are you going to have to fight yourself, you're going to have to fight your way up, around, through, over, and about. That's just what it comes down to. Men are taught you better fight for what you want. You better fight for what you want. That's why I always say I think it's good for a man to look. You don't know who you are as a man until you get punched in the face real hard and punched in the nose real hard. I feel sorry for guys who don't know how to take care of themselves. If you need a weapon in order to take care of yourself, I feel sorry for you. I think every man should have basic martial arts training. I have 3. 3. God forbid you ever have to use them, but it's good to know that you can do it. Because once you know how to fight, you know how to take care of yourself, you know you don't have to. The lowest form of a martial arts expression is actually having to physically fight. That means you failed. One of the biggest things in martial arts is self-control, self-mastery, mastery of self. There are all kinds of fights you're going to have to deal with in life, and you better choose wisely. But see, this is something that men get taught or we learn by and by. But ladies, what about you? What about you, ladies? What about you? What do you ladies learn? You ladies are taught that you are the prize. You ladies are taught that you're to be rescued. You're to be saved. You're to be fought for. And as the years have progressed, more and more women today, you got to ask yourself, are modern women more runner or more fighter? She's a runner. She's a track star. Are you more runner or are you more fighter? Because it's arguable to say that your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmothers, those generations, they actually had to fight for something. Where is all this coming from? This is all coming from, I have often heard women talk about their relationships and why their relationships failed, situations failed, and when having to talk back and forth with an ex or something, when you finally get a woman who has been resistant to taking accountability, never want to take blame, one of the questions you tend to hear more often is, well, yeah, I may have filed for divorce, but if he didn't want a divorce, he should have fought for our marriage. He should have fought harder. He should have fought harder. These bias backwards crap tests that a lot of women are doing with guys, purposely wrecking your homes to see if a man's going to fight for you. And if he does not fight in the way you think he needs to fight, then it means he really didn't love you, care for you, or whatever. Ladies, that's nuts. Ladies, that's nuts. How many of you ladies have heard your friends or your family members say that if the man they were with should have fought for their family? You should have fought for your family. Let me tell you something, ladies. There comes a time where men have had to fight for so much. Sometimes the best way to fight is to not fight. Sometimes the best thing a man can do is to not fight in this crazy modern way. But I got a question for you ladies. How many of you ladies, you modern women, are prepared to fight for what you got, what you want, and what you want to keep? Oh, why don't you fight is the question. Why didn't you fight? When I ask ladies, how many relationships have you had that you haven't walked away from? And they say none. My question is, why didn't you fight for them? How many women I talk to will openly say they won early on? They met a guy in college and he was perfectly suitable back then, but it was too young to be this or too young to be that. And you let it go And every time you're in a relationship or a situation with a man, it is you who find a reason to leave. 50+% divorce rate, 80% of divorces filed by women. Ladies, you're modern home wreckers. Home wreckers you're not fighters. If you're some punch out, you would be Glass Joe. What does that mean? Meaning that everybody else is supposed to fight except you. Everybody else is supposed to go to the mat, to do something. Ladies, why don't you fight? Especially if you have a kid. If you decided to have a child before marriage, why didn't you fight to stay with your child's father? Why don't you fight? And the first people you're going to have to fight is yourself. First person you have to fight is yourself, because it ain't about you no more. When you decide to be in a relationship, you put yourself second, supposedly. Why don't modern women fight? I submit that you're too selfish. It's all about you, your happiness. Everybody else is a distant second or third concern. First person you got to fight is yourself. Second person you got to fight is your single friends. Third people you got to fight is your single friends or your family. Third is your family or your single friends, either or. Next is the culture. First yourself. Second or third is your friends and your family, your single friends and your family, your mama, your cousins, your nanas, your nieces, and then the culture. The world is telling you, girl, you don't need to stay in that. You should just leave. You should this, you should that. And you find a way to either consciously or subconsciously wreck your own home, find a situation, find an exit. And then when the man doesn't jump through hoops and do what you think he should do, you can say, well, if he really wanted to be with me, he'd fight for me. If he really loved me, he'd fight for me. How many times have we heard this stuff, guys? How many times have we heard that if you really loved your kids, you really loved your this, you really loved that, you did this? Bull snap. Now, I have seen women fight over weaves, and think of some of the fights we've seen online. But what I've never really seen is women fight like that for the families and the community they say they want. Ladies, why don't you fight? Modern women, why aren't you fighting? You know how you can show men you're fighting? Understand that this platform is not about beating you down and hurting your feelings and such and so forth, because everybody else is telling you what you want to hear. But what they're not doing is when you look around where they are, it's all women. That's why all this crap is going on, because at the end of the day, there are men over here. There are no men over there, really. So you may feel good hearing the stuff you want to hear, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up buying a dog and dying alone. Is that what you decide? Is that what you thought life was going to be? You'll fight. Here's the funny thing. Many of you will fight to get out of your neighborhood, fight to get out of your home, fight to get into college. Fight for that job. You'll damn sure fight for the company or organization that you're in. That is why so many of our women have actually been turned into your husband is your job. Sister Shahrazad Ali has said it. A lot of times they have taken the strength of modern women and turned it against men, when we shouldn't be fighting one another. So what does it sound like when a man has the nerve to sit down and actually tell you the straight, unadulterated, direct truth? It's perceived as an insult. My thing is this, modern women, are you that weak? It's an insult to say a 300-pound woman is obese. It's an insult to tell an average woman she's average. When she says she's average, it's an insult to tell a woman you are what you attract. I think you ladies better start looking at all the men who tell you the things you want to hear with the side eye, because what they don't have is a man to pass you on down to. The men that tell you what you want to hear tend to have a financial incentive to do that. Think I'm wrong? Check it. Check the men who tell you what you want to hear, and usually there's some sort of incentive. And then folks come over here talking about, well, look at what he does. He makes money off this. Men support this channel. Men support this channel. And the reality is the message is moving. And the reality is this: if we're going to get anything, you ladies are going to have to learn how to fight. Fight for the families you say you want. Fight for the men you say you want. Fight for the kids you say you want. Fight the culture that you say is broken. Fight the system that you say is broken. It's time for you to fight. Yes, you. Yes, your single self. That's right. Yes, you.
I'm a PhD.
That's right. Mobilize that PhD and put it into a fight. Not fighting for women, fighting for your men. See, if I were to say you to fight for women's and women's causes, y'all would do that. Well, what about how you plan on getting anywhere with two seats, two legs on a 4-seat stool? Fight. Or do you want to fight your men? Is that what it is? I want you ladies to ask yourself a question. How many people keep telling you, oh, you shouldn't be over there. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go over there. You should. What are they? And what's the alternative? Come over here and do what? Be lulled to sleep? Don't go over there. Don't be over there. Be over here. All right. What you got for them? What you got for them? What do you have for them? Where are the men that the women they say they want? Where are they? What single available men support what you have to say? Ladies, bottom line, if there are no men behind the message, why are you there? Since though we're going to play these games, let's do it. It is time to fight for the men you say you want. And I'm not talking about some hashtag or, fighting for somebody after something's happened. No. Fight for your plumber, your electrician, your hit squad, your Blake, your Keith Henry. Fight for all those things. Because I've said this before. Ladies, the high value men, the top 20%, 10%, 5%, 3%, 1% men, the men you want, they're not going to have to fight for you. You're going to have to fight the women around him. And I got a bad news for black women. I need you to listen. I need you to listen well. 1/3 of, what's the stat? 1/3 of black men who have bachelors and who marry out. When I've asked this question, I was like, what do we do about that? And more often than not, I've heard people say, well, I don't want to talk to anybody like that, a sellout, a coon, or whatever. I'm like, you better start asking these men why they're leaving. Because if they're marrying, they're marrying somebody. You cannot survive with a brain drain when your best and brightest feel like they have to leave to survive. What do you do with them? The very science, engineering, technology, and math guys you call nerds, geeks, lame, such and so forth, those are the guys in your 30s you wish you'd have married in your 20s. Why does every other group get it? Because what are you fighting for? Is what you're fighting for tied to impressing another woman? Or is it tied to impressing the men of your group? Straight up. Is what you're fighting for tied to impressing another woman, or is it tied to impressing the men of your group? Because like it or not, you're going to have to impress the men of your group if you expect to marry the men of your group. You're going to have to impress men, period, if you expect to marry a man. If not, hey, buy a dog, die alone, compound live, platonic marry, do something, because men are saying enough. Men got to fight enough. Men have saw their fathers, their grandfathers, their uncles, their cousins have to fight and saying no more. It is time for you to actually bring to the table the ability to fight. You're not an 8, 9, or 10 in looks, 8, 9, or 10 in body. Well, then you better get with an average guy and fight your way up. Everybody has to fight. Life is not luxury, ladies. And the kind of caliber of men that can provide luxury, they want a lot for it. And no amount of shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right going to change it. No amount of people trying to cancel it, that's not going to change it. Reality is the same. So I want to hear from you, ladies. Are you a fighter? Have you told a man that he should have fought more? Do you fight for your relationships? Are you fighting for your men? Or do you care more about impressing the women of your group than the men of your group? And if so, what's that outcome going to be? I love to hear this one. Get into it. Call line is open.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Ladies only.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
If you want to get on the Zoom link, go over there.
Money work.
If you want to be on the interview link, you can hit the Ask Godfather.
Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón.
There are the links. Interview. Ask Godfather, you're on the bicycle.
Money work.
The Zoom link. You don't necessarily have to be on the screen on YouTube show, but you must be on camera.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
So, here we go. To be on the Zoom show, you must be on camera. If you're not on camera, you don't get in. Oh, okay. Well. Let me do this. Remove that person. iPad 2, you either show yourself or you go bye-bye. Azrael, you're next. Getting ready for audio. Let me hide myself. All right. Azrael, unmute yourself. Hello? Cannot hear you. There you go. No, you're here. Hello. Yeah. How are you? Good. How old are you? That's all right. How old are you?
I'm 29. I'll be 30 in a couple months.
Well, you're just talking to me. You don't. There's no need to be nervous. We're
Yeah.
just me on you. So, what do you got for me? What do you want to talk about? Why
Okay.
talk about fighting? Have you ever told a man you should have fought harder?
Actually, I said it in other words. One time I was talking to my now ex, and we were talking about breaking up. And I was like, how much effort have you put into this relationship? Because I feel like I've put in, a whole bunch of effort into bending to your will and trying to make you happy and feed to you. And he was
Uh-huh.
like, I ain't really put that much effort in. I was like, okay, so it don't make sense for you to want to be done with
Okay,
something
who didn't
that
put
you
that
ain't even
much?
tried for.
Hold on. Who didn't put that much effort in? You or him?
Him, him,
He said he didn't put that much effort in.
he didn't put in. Should I say he didn't put his effort in the right places,
Okay.
but expected results. And you
Wait.
know,
What I'm
okay.
asking, how many relationships have you had that you have not walked away from? That you didn't break up?
Oh well, a whole bunch of them, to be honest.
Well, how many relationships
That's
you
one
had?
reason why I'm
How many
church
relationships have you had?
institutions.
Hold on. How many relationships have you had?
Major relationships.
Whatever you would call a
Let me
relationship.
say,
Hmm.
I'm sorry again.
Yeah. How many relationships have you had?
Major relationships. Let me count for a second. One, two, three, four. At least four.
And how many of those relationships have you left? You broke up with them.
Um, One was mutual,
It's never
but
mutual. It's never mutual. Never
well,
mutual. It's never
it was
mutual.
started. He started it as far as wanting to end it, and then it became mutual because I
Okay.
didn't see any resolve.
All right. So what I'm hearing is you're a woman that's your four relationships. Half of them you've left, and the one you want to talk about is you did the work, but he didn't do his work.
That's the most recent one where I really gave into,
Okay, but
like, how
I
you
need to have
say, you
what
let your
I need.
man
I'm
lead.
asking
Like,
about
that's
relationships where
making a move.
you didn't do your part.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm talking about relationships where you didn't do your part, where you fell short.
Well, there were some where I fell through, but it was like, okay, so I was married. I don't really consider it like it because it didn't last long. Um,
How long were you
but
married?
I was going through
How long were you married?
less than a year.
You have any children?
Not from that marriage, but yes, now.
Okay. Um, Go ahead.
Um, when it came to that marriage, I was going through a lot of things. I was the head provider in that relationship, which is very stressful for me because I consider myself the housewife type. To be honest, I am the housewife type. Um, but I was the main provider for the household and also taking care of the
So
housewife
if
duties on
this is
top of
your
that.
marriage, right?
Yes, this was my marriage.
And then is this one of the relationships that you would say you walked away from?
This was the one where he decided to end it and it became mutual.
All right, ma'am. What I'm trying to understand is because the way this is coming across is you do the men don't do the men aren't the ones do the men don't do right. You do. That's the way it's coming across. Is that what you're trying to come across?
Um, I'm a malleable person when it comes
That's
to
not,
a lot of things because
but
I'm
that's
very
what I'm asking
understanding.
is where have you fallen short? And I still haven't got an answer.
Things where I fought. Okay, so in my marriage,
Relationships.
I was young. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Okay,
Hey man,
I was
you
young.
gotta hurry
I
up
was
and
in my
get through. I
early
got 8
20s.
other people going. I'm really doing my best to try to get you
I'm
on
giving you the
task, but
short version. I promise. It's like two sentences. I wasn't ready for myself. I wasn't avid in therapy like I needed to be. and I was going through stuff that I couldn't handle, and it bled into my marriage.
Okay. So, and you're how old?
I'm sorry, what?
You're how old?
I'm 29 now.
How many children do you have?
Two.
By the same man?
No,
All right. How old is your oldest?
she's 4.
How old is your youngest?
He's 3.
Um,
There was a whole situation.
okay, it's always a whole situation. So, do you want to be remarried?
I would love to be married to someone who can communicate because
Let me ask my questions because I don't know if you recognize it, man. But the way you're telling these stories, you're the victim. You're the one that things are happening to, and I'm going to challenge that because at 29 with 2 children by 2 different people, are you ready to be a wife to a suitable man?
I mean, I've been practicing my whole life. Like I was one of those girls who was like
That's a yes or no question.
passionate about it, and
That's
like
a
my whole life
yes.
was
That's a
my jobs
yes.
I've had is
That's
to
a
make me
yes.
better parent,
That's
mom,
a yes or
and
no
family.
question. That's a yes or no question.
I am not the complete victim.
No, I no. What was the question I asked
My
you? What was
hands
the
are not
question,
completely
ma'am?
clean.
Ma'am. What was the question I asked you?
Repeat it so I don't
Oh my God.
reiterate it incorrectly.
So how you answering the question if you don't know? Okay, what do you think I asked?
I feel like you said that you're going to challenge that I'm the victim because it's
It's
perceived in
not,
that
no,
way.
it's not what I asked. I said, see, all right.
I'm
Do
having a
you
hard
do
time
you
hearing you because
feel
I
do
had to
you
take my
feel
earphones out so
all
you can
right?
hear my mic.
Okay. Do you feel are you ready to be a wife to a suitable man?
I feel like yes. I said yes because I've
Okay.
been preparing myself for this my whole life
Okay.
to try to figure out what I need
Well,
to be.
listen. Relationships for us all are reflective. If the men you are picking are problematic, that starts in the mirror. You've had 2 children by 2 different men. And in this short period of time, whether it's technical difficulty or not, I'm not getting a woman that's really resolved. I get chaos is what I'm getting.
I've been single for a year now. I haven't even been intimate with
Have you had
anybody.
any
I've really been
therapy?
focused on myself.
Have
I've
you
been
had
in
any
therapy
therapy?
for like 10 years
Okay,
now.
man, let's
I,
stop.
I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not. 10 years of therapy? You're supposed to graduate from therapy unless there's an underlying. Okay, there's a lot going on here, ma'am. At 29, if you've been.
No, I
Nope.
think everybody should have therapy even when it's
No, okay.
okay.
Okay,
Can I
no,
explain?
what I'm telling you is what the therapists say.
My therapist says that
Okay.
it's
Your therapist is the same person you've had for 10 years.
no, I've had to get a new one because the other one, I'm not trying to go into a whole bunch of stuff because I know you don't want me to go into a whole bunch of details.
I would say this, ma'am. Okay.
But
Therapy, you should graduate
the
from,
therapist I've
everybody
had
should
has been for the
graduate
last year consistently.
at 20 and at 29 years old, um, therapy should have an end date, a graduation date. It's not meant to go on into perpetuity.
Well, I have emotional disabilities.
Well, okay. You can't just do, all right. Okay. Hold on. No, whatever this person's name is, Jaden, you're gonna go and this person's showing the nope. Yep, you got to go too. They're not gonna be able to show that. So I don't think y'all. Therapy's not supposed to. Therapy should have an end date. Ma'am, you're muted. You gotta wait. I gotta get to other people. Therapy has an end date. And therapy can also become a crutch. At some point, we have to be able to. Liz, you're going to have to get fully on the screen. If I can't see your head, I'm not going to put you on. Tanisha, I'm going to unmute you. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I am 46.
Okay. Hold on. Folks, we're gonna have to get come on now. I've been off since last week. We have 23,000 folks in here. We're gonna need at least 20 more folks to hit that dadgum super chat thing. What do you got for me, man? What would you like to add to the conversation?
I like to say that I am a fighter. I had been married twice.
Okay.
The first marriage, he actually divorced me.
Okay.
Like it was like he would hang divorce papers over my head. And the second time I just signed them. I was like, I'm tired of fighting.
Do you have any children from that marriage?
Huh?
You have any children from that marriage?
No, I have no biological children. I currently have custody of a 3-year-old cousin of mine.
Why did you guys divorce?
Huh?
Why did you guys divorce?
Well, we were young. We got married when we were 20. He was in the military. So, I mean, I don't have any animosity against him. But
are you in a relationship right now?
I am engaged now. Yes.
All righty. Does he have any children?
He has 2 grown daughters. Yes.
And you said you've been married twice?
Yes.
What about your second marriage?
My second marriage, I did file for divorce on that one, but it was only because after he would leave, like he would just randomly pack bags and leave. And after he came back one time, he actually ended up doing 6 months in jail. And I told him, I'm like, if you leave again, like I will file for divorce because like he
Have
would
you
be
had
in the
counseling? Have you
street.
had any counseling from your second marriage, between your second marriage and your engagement?
Yes, I have. I did do counseling. I did take a break from,
I gotta ask.
I did.
Because I gotta ask. We all pick who we're with. If you got a guy who's threatening to hang divorce papers over you, then a guy who's in and out. We're all the normal, regular guys. That's why. Do you have that now?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Good.
I think I got it right this time.
All right. Good. Well, good. I hope you do, because relationships are reflective. So
yeah,
this is what I'm trying to get some women to understand. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get to the next person. Liz, you're next. We're responsible for who we choose to let in our lives. Hello, Liz.
Hi.
And City, you're next. Hey, how old are you?
I am 28.
Okay, what do you got for me?
So I just wanted to chime in and say I used to not be a fighter. Like now I'm married and I am a fighter, but I used to not be a fighter just because like it was totally my fault. I would choose wrong like a lot. Like I would choose like the first guy who like wanted to like date me, which is terrible because when you're like young and in your 20s, you know what I mean? Like you just
How long have you been married?
Whoever.
How long have you been married?
Oh, that makes sense. Can you hear me?
How long have you been married?
5 years.
Any children?
Yeah, I have 5.
What?
I have 5 children. 2 were before I got married. So I have 3 now that I am
How old are
married
you?
with my husband. I'm 28. I started dating young. That's a story for another day.
Wait a minute. You're a mother of 5 with purple hair? I mean, I'm just asking.
Well, I had to get on camera, and to be honest, It was
No,
the
I'm
only
just
thing right there.
why purple hair and a mom of five? Why purple
Me and
hair?
my husband are anime fans, so I do a lot of
Oh,
cosplay.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're the weird bunch.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll accept that as a reason
Oh, well, thank
because at
you.
least there's a reason. Anime I can accept. Yu-Gi-Oh and some shit like that. Cool. There's a reason, huh? Huh? You did what? What'd you say?
But I used to not be a fighter, not just because you accept whoever. You start hanging around like a lot of single like friends who just want to go out and about.
Right.
And then like they just always go like, oh well, you're too good for him, you need to leave him, you know what I mean? So you just do that because
Yeah,
that's
well,
your
get
friends,
better
they do.
friends. Hold on. Get better friends. Sydney, what do you got for me? How old are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 25.
All right, what do you got for me?
Well, I haven't been hearing the rest of the podcast or the rest of the broadcast because honestly, I just got finished working out a little bit ago. So, would you
So
be able to refresh me about what the
nope,
topic
I
is tonight?
cannot do that. Nope, I
Oh,
cannot.
no, you're right.
I cannot
It was
bring you
about.
up to speed when there are 20 some odd thousand people watching.
You're
Come
right.
on,
Okay.
come on now.
It was about being a fighter.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am. Yes, sir.
Are you married or engaged or just dating someone?
Dating. I'm in a relationship for a long term.
You've been in what for a long time?
I'm sorry.
You said you've been in what for a long time?
In a relationship.
How long?
It'll be 4 years in. Well, no, it's been 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
And you're how old again?
25.
What's the holdup?
Honestly, it's been my holdup. Not on the part of my partner. He's been gracious enough to stay with me while I've been working through my own mental issues and
mental meaning clinically mental.
Yes, clinically mental. Like I kind of had to craft my own team. It's like I've got my own pretty serious issues. Like I have my personal doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist for medication. I started my workout plan. I'm eating better. I'm doing all of the things that are supposed to, make you feel better and, generally that are supposed to start moving my life in a better direction. And
what does he want to do? What does he want to do? What does he want to do?
He is kind of back and forth on marriage. I haven't made it a requirement up until this point because I've been so focused on myself. But the more that I've been pouring into myself, into our relationship, I'm starting to realize that marriage is important and is something that I actually do want. And we've been having this conversation more recently.
4 years, if he doesn't want to marry, he's not going to marry.
Yeah, do you think?
I know.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to marry, he's not going to marry. And because now that you've gotten to the place to where now you see that marriage is important, you that's what tends to happen. Women tend to be in a relationship and decide they want to marry a man. Men go looking for wives. He wasn't looking for a wife when he found you. He's looking for, honestly, most guys are looking for consistent sex and someone to spend significant time with. But if you want marriage and he's back and forth, what does that tell you?
That I need to make my stance clear and
what can you do? You can't make your stance. You make your stance clear, and men decide marriage. You just accept or not accept. You give them an ultimatum, and the relationship is over, likely.
Right. I don't want to give him an ultimatum, but I also haven't. Sorry.
If you don't give him an ultimatum and you let it be, okay. Here's the reality: you haven't made it a requirement. You've been in it for 4 years. You can't get your 4 years back. Every day you spend in it and it's not going towards marriage is another day wasted.
That is true. Yeah.
So you say you're not going to give him an ultimatum. Yes, you are. Either we get married or I'm leaving. That's going to be the outcome, right?
Yes.
That's an ultimatum.
Okay. I didn't
Just,
know if
just because you wrap it
if I
in a
should
bow
say
and
so many
velvet,
words.
just because you wrap it in a bow and velvet, it's still an ultimatum.
Okay.
And if
Yeah,
you know you want to
that's
be married, okay, well, better to know that and go forward.
yeah, that's what I need to know because
But
I'm not getting
are
any
your
younger.
what are your therapists and things like that? Are they saying that? I mean, would you be ready to be a wife?
I would say yes in all other ways so far. That's what I was raised to be.
Okay.
And that's actually what I wanted to do with my life. Like I grew up sort of being pushed towards
Mhm.
academia and being pushed towards having a career and being, very highly educated, becoming a doctor and whatnot. But I always knew that what I wanted to do had to be, or what I wanted to do was
Well,
be,
but okay. So your underlying issues are one thing, but then it sounds like you've been you if you're 25, you've been with one person for so long. Um, there's going to be some work that's going to have to be done because you got to get back out there and start seeing a different group of people.
yeah.
You don't even do. I mean, do we know how to date? So I wish you all the best, though. But it does sound a little complex to me. Very
It
complex.
definitely is, yeah.
Well, we don't get to choose life, though.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. All right, Azriel, unmute yourself. Now, where were we at?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to refresh me
And I was,
kindly.
I was just trying to. Okay, with you, we were talking about, your relationships, and it seemed to me that all your relationships that somehow you were coming out as the victim of all this stuff. And I was trying to ask you where relationships have you been in where you dropped the ball? Has that ever
I'm not
happened?
aware. I dropped the ball. Like for one thing, sometimes I stay in relationships some of them than what signs tell me to go.
Say again?
That's one of my problems. But the one that I'm sorry, did you say something?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. The one with my ex-husband, I'm not saying I'm a wet log. I fueled the fire a little bit. I'm not completely innocent. But just like any case scenario, it's things two sides can do.
All right.
And
What
me,
I'm
I was
asking you,
going through.
what I'm asking you today is, I asked you earlier, do you think you are, if a perfectly suitable man looking for a wife came along and was interested in marrying you, do you think you are ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in all ways to be a wife today?
I do, but it's not up for me to judge because I'm not the husband.
Yeah, that's not the question. Okay.
I mean, I feel like I'm a wife. If somebody came up to
Okay.
me and he was like, "Be my wife," I'd be like, I'm ready. I'm ready to make this work. I'm ready to be committed. I'm ready, like all of that stuff.
What
Like
do you think? Well, yes, it is up to the man to ask, but this is what a lot of guys are asking today: is what makes so for the people in the audience, what would you say makes you a wife?
well, um, you got to be able to understand and listen.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be malleable because a lot of people think of marriage as you coming together as one, but really you two people coinciding together. You got to be malleable enough to be able to coincide in peace.
Okay.
So it takes communication and understanding. And I've stayed in relationships that really lack that. I'm a talkative person. I like to express myself. I like to write.
Okay. So what I got from you is you're malleable.
I would say I am.
What else?
I'm dedicated to the family, like the whole aspect of it. I work in the community.
You say you're
towards the
dedicated. When you
family.
say you're dedicated to the family,
Yes,
and you were married how many times?
once,
And how long were you married?
less than a year. It was about 6 months.
Okay. And then you have two children, right?
Yes,
By two different guys?
yes, yes, sir.
So I gotta ask the hard question. How is that dedicated to the family?
Okay, I don't want to switch your views to a negative thing, but my first child was not, I wasn't conscious. Let's just put it
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
My second child, I had it because when I was young, I knew I wanted to have two kids. And I wanted them to be close in age because that's healthy. They can grow up together in the household. It's healthy. So when I thought I found my son's dad, which was a whole toxic situation for various reasons, I had another child
Was that wise?
because he was masculine.
Was that
And
wise? Was that wise?
it played some part in it,
I know.
but
I was
felt
saying.
like I
I
could
was.
love
I mean,
him. I felt like I could be his wife.
no. Did you hear what I said?
I'm sorry.
What did I say?
No, I did not hear what you said. I apologize.
Oh Jesus! I said, was that wise?
Looking back at it, if I went through my life,
That's a yes or no question.
yes.
It's a yes. It
For
was wise. Yes, it was wise.
for very particular reasons. No, it's
Okay.
not wise for the
Okay.
mass population.
So I need you to listen. What I'm about to say. Your first child. You had a second child because you wanted to make sure your
that was
children.
not my main priority reason, though.
I-
It was a small
I
part.
listened to what you said. I'm just repeating back what you said.
Okay.
You said I have a first child, and now it was conceived unconscious. Okay, then your second child is you wanted to have your children in a certain age proximity. That's what you said.
Yes.
And
I also, because I felt like he was suitable.
and that was the driving reason more than being with a man and making a family and having a family situation and then bringing that child into that.
Can I clarify? He asked me to have his child and he proposed marriage to me. We talked
But
about
there's
all this.
still a marriage first.
Yes.
It does not. No, see, this is why when I said at the beginning, ma'am, it seems like
I
you're
should have
always.
waited.
You seem like you're always the victim. I'm like, you have one child,
No.
and you know damn well that you're already in this one situation. And if he said all these things, then y'all could have went to the courthouse if that was the case. So what I'm asking is, in hindsight, if it was wise, and you say yes, I'm sitting here saying that I don't think that you are ready to be a wife because you're not even looking at your past reasonably.
I'm telling you what mind state I was in when I made the decision, not the mind state that I'm in now.
But I'm asking you now was it wise? I'm not asking you, was it wise then? That makes no sense. Everybody makes what they think is a wise decision in the moment.
Okay, that's like saying, is it wise that you went through the struggles you went through in your decision?
No, it's not. No, don't make this about me. No, it's not. That makes no French. That makes no French toast sense. That makes no French toast sense. That's just like a kid.
That's like saying,
nope, you can't overtalk me. That shit won't work. Nope. This is what I mean. Lack of an accountability. When she's still talking, you've been muted, ma'am. You can't overtalk me. See, it tends to be the same thing when the accountability comes. Here comes, I'm gonna just burrow through. Okay, you think a kid realizes I shouldn't go my mama's purse and steal $5? But when they want something, they go and get it, and they think that their mama won't miss it. That kid at the time thought that was wise. He thought he'd get away with it. Do you think 10 years later that kid would say, yeah, that was wise? That's the question. But why I ask the questions is, ma'am, I asked the question to see if you could take accountability, and you're not. You can't overtalk me. That's one thing that can't happen. So so I asked you, did you think that was wise? And you're saying that you said it was. Okay, well let me reframe it. Today, do you think that was wise?
No,
Why?
because I should have had my husband more in mind instead of my relationship at the time.
Right.
So
This is what I was saying earlier. Our fighting for the family we say we want. The hardest thing for most people to do is to wrestle ourselves into a position to where we can actually work with somebody. Because all our reasons tend to make sense for us. Hold on, I'm gonna let somebody else get in just a second. If you're not Blair, all right, Blair, you went off. If you bounce off, you're not. Oh, your audio's not here. Somebody comes in there saying, "Why won't you let me talk?" I don't know who you are, but I don't know who you are. Blair, you're okay. So, how do we get to a point to where we have relationships without the women taking accountability, strict accountability? And this is one of the things that my critics and detractors seem to. You bashing women, making them feel bad. But one thing I never hear them do, I've yet to hear any other people who criticize, have women take accountability. They don't even make women stop calling over there. Well, apparently they're coming over here because they're getting something that they're not getting from the places they're going. And one of the things is it's just an unvarnished, truthful opinion and advice. Do you make room for the fact that maybe women are being tired of being lied to? Because at the end of the day, they're not getting out. Women are tired of hearing what makes them feel good because it's not doing good. How about that, folks? Blair, your audio's not connected, so till your audio gets connected, you can't come in. Zoe, you're going in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. All right. Bye, Zoe. You're gonna troll. Go ahead and try to troll. Pew. Let's go, Zoe. Ashley, go ahead and unmute yourself. If you guys are gonna try to troll, go ahead and just do it. You're still not gonna make it to the screen, so you're just wasting your time. Hello, Ashley.
Hello, Kevin.
How old are you?
I am 29.
29. What do you got for me?
I would say that I am fighting. I have been in a relationship for 4 years now, and
4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mhm.
Okay. Go ahead.
um, uh, I'm just gonna call him my other half. He's overseas right now,
Okay.
so his plan is to build a life for us in
Okay.
Nigeria, and I'm in America right now. We have one child together, and
All
then I
right.
have one that's not by him.
All right.
But I would say that I am fighting because I know that he's the lead, and it's my job to follow and listen to him.
How long before you guys will be in the same geography?
Um, maybe 3 or 4 years from now because of the
Blair,
weather.
you're next, and then iPhone, you're next. 3 or 4 years before you're in the same geography?
Yeah.
Why?
Um, I'm a school teacher, and I make more money in America being a school teacher.
I don't care. You mean you're away from your man because of money?
Um,
That's what you basically just said, right?
right.
What French toast sense that made? You got his kid away from him in the States, and he's in Nigeria because of some paper. Hmm. So if they fired you, you rush over to Nigeria, right?
Um,
If you woke up to if I Thanos snapped you and he said you're fired, you'd be on the first plane to Nigeria to be with your man.
either that or get another job.
What?
Well, yeah,
No, ma'am. You have a child with him, right?
right,
You have a previous child.
right.
Relationships need to be close enough for people to relate. And you seem perfectly okay with not seeing your man for another 3 to 4 years.
Oh, I thought you meant like stable with each other every day. So I do see him about 3 months.
I
With
don't care. I mean, you're supposed to no. See, no, 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 no,
You wouldn't consider that fighting?
no. I would consider you going to Nigeria and living on whatever you could make over there fighting. I would consider what you have as some new wave, distance, friendship, platonic kid, marriage, not living in the same boyfriend. I don't know what this is. 3 years?
4.
How old is his child?
She's 1.
Oh my God. The tender years are going to be spent. Yeah, no. No. And see, it's not, and no, and I'm using a softer tone because, ma'am, it's not like you're telling me you're the vice president of mergers and acquisitions. You're CEO of, you're a school teacher. This ain't rocket surgery or brain science. You can teach anywhere. Can you get over to your baby daddy and become a wife and do whatever you got to do? Kind of like women have throughout time immemorial, instead of worrying about this.
I'm a PhD.
I mean, I'm saying it in a lighthearted way, ma'am, because the money you're talking about ain't real. It ain't no big money. And you're supposed to want to be with your man. Nothing to say? You muted yourself. I'm sorry. You muted yourself.
Oh, okay, yeah, it wasn't letting me
Okay.
unmute. I do want to be with him right now.
Okay, what's the holdup? She's unmuted, by the way, so she's just stumped. What's the holdup? Stop looking at the
Oh,
comments
like
section.
okay, so our plan.
What? Oh, hold on. You looking at the comment section?
Am I looking? Oh no.
Okay. Well, okay. So what's the holdup?
Oh, just to save money while
For
working
what?
together.
For what? Save money for what? What's the reason you're making this money, saving this money? What reason?
To buy a house. To buy a house over there and to be stable.
To buy a house. Cart before the horse. What if he decides he want? You do realize the longer you wait, somebody else could be taking your husband, right?
I do realize that. What if I say that this is his plan and not my plan, for me to continue to stay here for a while until we
But
save up?
is it his plan? Is it his actually? Huh? Yes?
What was your question?
Is it really his plan?
Yes.
So you got a man in Nigeria. and you're here, and you have a child from another man, and you have his child, and he's in Nigeria, and he's got you over here working, making money to save up, so you can go over in Nigeria and be stable and buy a house. What the French toast is he doing?
He owns a trucking company.
So why can't he buy the house?
Oh, we're doing it together. So
Why does he need your income? Why don't y'all get an apartment? Live in a shoe. I don't give a shit. Get close to your man. This is crazy.
Okay.
I mean, the stuff you're talking about is irrelevant. It's supposed to be, but it sounds like that matters more than the relationship. You got a 1-year-old who's away from her father. And if this is your plan, sir, let me go ahead and slap the shit out of you. You sound dumber than a motherfucker.
Okay. Well, I thought that would be like fighting. So after hearing you, I guess it's not.
Well, I'm saying fighting is doing what's uncomfortable. Fighting would say, okay, I make more money, it's more monetarily comfortable, but I would need my child to be with her father so he can bond with his child in the tender years. And we do what we got to do because he's got a business. I mean, you can make money over there or something, right? I mean, you can yodel. I don't know. You can do something. Wash dishes, tie shoes, something. I mean, really?
You're right.
I mean, if you don't get off my phone and get on the goddamn plane and go somewhere, go on to your baby daddy and become a wife. Bye, Ashley. Go on and become a wife. We need to stop this stupid shit of these newfangled ways. Human men and women have for eons learned how to get together and make it work. Now all of a sudden we got all these new ways of being together. And see, this, in my opinion, is an offshoot from this new way parenting. You know, human beings have learned how to parent kids forever, but in the 80s, they came along with all these parenting books. And what they do, they made a bunch of punk ass kids from helicopter parents. When I was a kid, you would sit in the front seat when your mama was driving in a seat with no headrest and no seat belts. They'd roll up the windows and sit there and smoke. Your parents would take you to see Friday the 13th. We turned out all right. Now all this helicopter parenting, we got a bunch of people who are terrified to. I'm like, what the? No. All right, Blair, you're next. Blair, you're next. Blair. Hi, Blair.
Hello.
Hey, how old are you?
26.
26. What do you got for me?
Well,
Are you in a relationship? Are you in a relationship, by the way?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that I stayed with the wrong guy too long.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm not married. But I left him last year and I'm not in a relationship right now.
Okay. You can only, somebody asked, how do you become a member? You can only become a member by clicking the join button on the desktop version of YouTube. You stayed with a guy for too long. How long were you guys together?
Like 3 years.
Like 3 years?
3 years.
And who ended the relationship?
Say again?
Who ended the relationship?
I did.
Why?
He had a baby on me.
Okay, well. Okay. And how long you guys been apart?
I left April 1st of last year.
All right. Have you been dating since then?
Yes.
But nothing serious?
I've been dating, But
Anything
yeah,
serious? Nothing serious?
nothing serious.
Did you have any kind of therapy or any kind of, did you talk to anybody after the grief and shock of this?
Yes, I did. I mean, he provided, he paid for everything.
All right.
But when I found out about the baby, I just,
Right. What I'm trying to see, when I'm trying to see if it happened. Okay.
right.
But have you processed it?
Yes.
All right. So,
I took like 6 months off to get my head together until I felt comfortable to start dating again.
all right. So, do you want to be married?
Yes,
You want children?
yeah, definitely.
How many?
As many as he can afford.
That's not what that is. How many you want?
I would say 4.
4. What state do you live in?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Closer to Philadelphia or closer to Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
How much would it take for a man to provide for a family of 6?
How much?
Well, first off, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
Definitely not.
Okay, so you want to be a housewife. What percentage of the financial family load do you want to have to carry for a lifetime?
Of the financial load?
What percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for and carry for a lifetime?
0.
All right. So, how tall are you?
5'6".
Dress size?
Say again?
Dress size?
Small?
2, 4, 6, 8. What?
Like 6.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
138.
All right. And of course, I'm going to ask, if you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, just your face, fresh face out of the shower, no makeup, no hair extensions, anything, just your natural face, what would you give yourself on a scale from 0 to 10? And you cannot use 7.
I would say a 9.
Okay. So, in my scale, I give Beyonce, Pam Grier, roughly 8. Kelly Rowland, Diane Carroll, women like they're 9. So you put yourself up there with Kelly Rowland, Diane Carroll, that kind of woman?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever dated? And how much money would a man need to make to pay for a wife and 4 kids to where his wife never had to work in Pennsylvania? Or basically anywhere in this country, because it's pretty much the cost of living. How much would he need to make?
A year?
How else is he going to do it? An hour? A day? I mean, yeah, a year. Come on now. What shows are you see?
Like, I would say 400,000 or 500,000 at least.
Oh, okay.
A year.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Okay. Have you ever dated a man making $500,000 a year?
Yes.
Seriously. Have you seriously dated a man making $500,000 a year?
So I started dating a guy after the 6-month period that I took to just kind of get my mind together and everything.
The answer is yes or no.
Yes. But he wasn't, I didn't feel like he was, I think there's a difference between a guy that can buy you materialistic things and a guy that you can take serious and is going to like provide.
What percentage of men in this country earn $500,000 or more?
I'm not sure.
Guess. Yeah.
30%? 40%?
I'll make you famous.
30 to 40% of the men in this country make $500,000 a year.
I don't know.
Are you insane?
What is the percentage?
What's your daddy make?
My dad doesn't make that much.
How much does he make?
I would say 50,000.
Mm-hmm. What's the most money? How much is your boyfriend, which you had for 3 years? How much did he make?
Maybe like 200, 150.
What did he do for a living?
He owned a trucking company. He owned a few companies. I didn't really.
So, and him cheating on you, would you have been all right with that as long as he didn't have a baby?
Honestly, yes.
Well, you better be, because dear heart, if you're being serious, which I hopefully you're not, 1% of the men in this country make $500,000 or more. And do you care if he's black or not?
No, I don't care.
Would you date a man that's 45 or older?
Yes.
Would you marry a man who's 45 or older?
Yes.
Okay, so you're just going straight for the bag. Fine. Fine, but what do these men want from a woman? What do men who are making $500,000 a year or more want from a woman?
I would say good looks, a woman that probably listens, is appreciative, takes care of home.
Can you cook?
I can.
How many recipes do you have in your recipe book?
Honestly, I can make.
How many recipes do you have in your recipe book?
I don't have any recipes written down.
Oh, okay. So you have none, zero. So basically, you want him $500,000 a year man, and you're just going to be cute. Listen,
I can cook though.
I'm just saying. Ma'am, the chances of you finding a man that making that kind of money in Pittsburgh is slim to none.
But I'm moving
Where you plan on moving to?
to Houston.
The finesse capital of the world. Oh, here's what's in your future.
The finesse capital?
Yeah, ma'am. 500,000. I'm serious. I'm trying to be like lighthearted because they're 26 years old. You say $500,000 a year like it's no big deal. What does the man have to? What are some professions that a man would have to make $500,000 a year?
Okay, maybe I said too high.
That's roughly what it would take, because for 3 kids it would be $350. You're talking about $400,000 or more, and the chances of you getting that, 72% of mothers in this country work full or part time. Young lady, you're gonna work. You're going to work. You're going to work. Most mothers have to work. The things you bring to the table, maybe more than your friends, but it's not anything above average. It's average. And you're attractive, but so that doesn't get you a $500,000 a year dude.
I feel like when women are at home and they're more in their creative space, and you can make money from home that way. Like if you are in your feminine and being taken care of and provided for, I'm pretty sure that I would be able to make money from home from my laptop.
You're just gonna right on past that, and you're gonna all of a sudden use the computer and the internet to make money. You're gonna go right on past the fact that, remember there's a video on my channel right now called Pretty Professional Problems. There's another woman in Houston right now who's 29 years old, who's used to being around sports athletes and agents and all this, and she wants to marry a man making $500,000 a year. Y'all can hang out together. Because the way y'all women talk, like money grows on trees, and I'll just turn. What's your degree in?
I don't have a degree.
Holy shit. How do you plan on making money? Just turn on the computer?
I have my own business.
Okay. Competence gets compensated. What do you do What would you do to make that kind of money? Oh.
For me to make 500,000?
No. What you said? You said a woman is in her feminine, yada 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 yada, make money from home. Great. What would you do to make money?
If I was homemaking, something along those lines, like something along that.
What does that mean? You didn't answer the question. You just said something along that.
Making candles at home, or doing something from home and
I need you to
selling
hold.
products.
I need you to hold on. Okay. This is probably going to be some of the best advice, but it's probably going to be some of the most stinging advice. Okay.
Okay.
Be cute. Be happy with a dude making 75,000 or higher. You're not getting 500. You're not gonna get 300-400. You're gonna get 75. You're an adjustable 6, meaning you could be cute or pretty. Because what I'm seeing right now, I really can't gauge with the lighting, but I can see you being pretty. But that still don't get you $500,000 with high school diploma and making candles. Ma'am, exceptional women get exceptional earners. And you may be able to date these men. I don't doubt that you can date them. I don't doubt that you can deal with them. But the kind of man who has that kind of money has options. And he's going to want something for his exceptional earning power. And it's going to be more than what you've described. And that's for any woman. And the fact of the matter is, you're not in the proximity of these men. And if you actually ever had to get out there and compete against other women for a man, yes or no?
Am I willing to do that?
I said, have you ever had to
compete?
Have you ever had to compete against other women for a man?
Like in what way?
Oh, then the answer is
like try to steal a man off of somebody.
Meaning, do you pretty much feel the guys you like? You pretty much get.
I would maybe.
All right. Well, that's fine, but that's
like I'm not like I don't usually like I'll be in a guy's like if I'm.
But when you go to a major city and you're around the kind of men that are earning that kind of money, it is extremely competitive. It is like you may be the valedictorian of your local high school, but you're trying to get into Princeton. Every valedictorian is just another student. What I'm trying to say is you're shooting extremely high. And if that's what you have to have, you don't want to work ever. You want as many kids as he can afford and all this other kind of stuff. But your daddy's making $50,000 a year. Where do you get these? Where did this come from? Where'd that come from?
Me knowing what I want to be a homemaker.
Shit about knowing what you want. It's what you can get. Were you raised with your father?
Yes, my parents are married.
All right. And what does your mother do for a living?
She's a nurse. She's an RN.
Right. Your mother fucking work. Because she has an average man. But then they made this young woman who thinks she should get 10 times what her daddy gets. Where'd that come from? A man like your dad ain't good enough for you?
Financially or just in general?
Yes, financially. A man like your father, huh?
Financially, no.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on. I need to be clear on what I think I just heard. A man like your father is not financially good enough for you.
No.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
My dad doesn't have enough money to provide for even if my mom wanted to stop working. So
Who do you
no,
think you are?
someone that wants to stay at home and not have to work and be a homemaker.
Now, you didn't graduate from college.
No.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
What are you doing with yourself now?
So I work for myself.
Ma'am, it's fine to have a high estimation of yourself, but I think you need to understand when you say you have the nerve to come in and say a man like your father who's married to your mother and provided and raised you, that you look down upon your father's income.
No, I don't look down upon
You said
it.
it's not enough for you. It's not good enough for you.
I wanted my mother. It's different. My mother wanted to work. She wanted to.
Because your mother also got, what age did your mother get married?
I think they got married at 24.
Right. And you got nothing. So your mother got a husband and somebody to build a life with. You've got Instagram dreams. That's why I said, who the French toast do you think you are? It's not like you were raised with a silver spoon in your mouth. Where does this entitlement come from? Because you're cute?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like if I want to be a homemaker, then
I don't be a homemaker, but be a homemaker. But are you a homemaker?
No.
But were you raised to be a homemaker?
No, I wasn't raised to be a homemaker.
So you're not one. You sound like a lazy woman.
But
to me. You sound like a modern lazy woman. You want a man to come provide for you because, let me ask you, if you were average looking, would you still be expecting the same thing from a man? Would you still be expecting the same kind of lifestyle?
No.
Exactly. So this is all because you're cute. Pretty privileged.
Okay, so my parents met in the Marine Corps. While they were in the Marines, I was raised with my great grandma. She died when I was in like 9th grade. So she was a homemaker. She never worked. And
you're not her.
Literally grew up around
But
her.
you're not her. You didn't learn any of those homemaking skills. You learned modern woman. That's what you learned. That's what you learn. You don't have a recipe book. You don't have the skills those women had. You don't have the attitude these women have. You don't have the humility these women had. You're not humble. You're rather, and like I said, if you were average looking, you would not be expecting this. So you're basically trading on your quote unquote pretty privilege. You're cute, you're pretty, but that's a dime a dozen, dear heart. What you got is better than most, but it ain't special. And the fact that you look, and why we're here is because you said what your father earned is not good enough for you. So basically, you just shit on half of the men in this country. And they're looking at you like, who the hell are you? Because you're cute? All it would take is a car accident or a disfigurement to your face to change your attitude. See, and what I'm saying this is you can want what you want, but what I'm using this is to show is no one checks the entitlement of modern women. You guys are allowed to say this shit. You guys are allowed to think this. And it's not rude. It's not insulting. There are women who are going to be in the comment section. You shouldn't be trying to rain on her parade. She should go for whatever you want. But you don't think about the men that you're talking about. I hope you get it, ma'am, but understand what you want is extremely competitive and very rare. Very rare and extremely competitive. And the men who tend to have that kind of money, they don't tend to deal with modern women. They tend to deal with feminine, traditional-minded women who understand their place. You almost sound like a gold digger. But
how is that coming off like that?
Because you really have nothing to bring to the table other than your desires. So your husband
taking care of home is definitely.
But you're not qualified to do that, ma'am. See, you keep saying taking care of home, but you're not qualified to do that. Having a baby is what your body's meant to do. Where have you ever taken care of a home? Where have you ever taken care of anything other than yourself? I asked you about your domestic skills. You don't have, you may be able to cook, but you don't. This is what I'm
I don't
saying.
have recipes now.
Okay. So, and you're not uncommon. That's the troubling part, that men who would have been suitable in your mother's generation or your grandmother's generation, women like you look at men who would have been suitable for you in other generations as beneath you. That's why I'm so animated. So my critics and detractors, you need to understand this is part of the problem. Women like this who 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago would have been coupled and down the path building our community think they're too good for an average man. That's what it comes down to. They think they're too good for average guys. So all the best, young lady. But I would say it, that pretty privilege shit, you know, that doesn't play out too well in the real world. Sadly, many women like that tend to get played. You know, I run into women who are where she is right now, 10 years from now, and they're desperate. You know where they're at? Here's where they are. You know where they're at, right? Do you know where they are? They're freezing them eggs. They're freezing the eggs. And understand, she said I could work from home and make candles. Think about what a man has to go through to become the kind of provider she's talking about. And what he's going to get is a candle making wife who expects the world? I mean, that's not okay. I'm going to handle these other, that's not okay. So I need you ladies to understand, when everybody wants to come in here and talk crap about me and what I say, that's not okay. That this is what men are dealing with. This is what men are dealing with, and your son, your brother, the men of your family, the men you say you love and care about, this is part and parcel when they see a young lady who is, I mean, I really couldn't give her, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and give her an 8. An adjustable 6, but I'll give her an 8. An 8. A pretty woman who may be in shape, but her price, she's a Honda Accord, or even a base model BMW, a 3 Series BMW. But you can't be running around asking for, but she's rated herself as a 9, so she's wanting herself to be, $100,000 plus vehicle. And it's like, well, and what did I say? The higher women rank themselves, the more they feel they're naturally entitled to. If you didn't look the way you did, would you be asking for as much? No. So all your husband is really going to get is a pretty package. No real substance. So you can't get mad at people like myself when I rank women, because if they're going to say, I want $500,000 for my looks, we need to be able to say what that shit is worth. So get upset that women get ranked by an image consultant, because she had no problem ranking men. Her daddy ain't good enough for her. Homeboy. Your father, the police officer, wouldn't be good enough for her, homeboy. The people that raised her ain't good enough. So before you decide to talk crap about me, you need to listen to what I say end to end and get out of your feminine feelings. All right, folks, I got to get ready to go out to Scottsdale in the morning. Going to be on the West Coast, fluting out, Instagram Live tomorrow, Friday night show from the hotel. Gonna be a lot of cool content, things to do, places to go, people to meet. Till the next time, we got to get up out of here and go on back over to the folks to tell you what you want to hear. I ain't got nothing for you except the truth. Until the next time, peace. We're gone. I'm even a PhD.
I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool
The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker.
Cause I'm addicted to the
Hold on. Well, Peter Piper picked pepper and run right rhyme, but Humpty Dumpty fell down. This is our time, Jackie double white double. And he was quick with Jam Master against Pastor Jack. Now little boy Pete Cole was so she man with Alice Lee. And Alice went down to Wonderland. Jack's got Jill bucket in his hand. Jam Master Jay kicking how that sound. The turntables by wobble, but they don't fall down. Boom, 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 boom.
So tell
The baker, the candlestick maker is your wife. What the hell? I can make candles. I can make home candles. What the hell? Oh, Home Shopping Network. Did this on Shark Tank. All right, David John, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring this to Shark Tank. The multi-million-dollar candle making business. If you thought these were great, wait till I bring Pittsburgh's finest candles. Oh God! What the hell? Pittsburgh's finest, made with the best whale blubber and sheep fat the Steel City has to offer. Oh God! Every candle comes with a free terrible towel and an ounce of bean gel green sweat. And for the lucky winner of the combo prize pack, you get a picture with Jerome Bettis, Heinz Ward, and a kiss for Ben Roethlisberger on the cheek or a ride on the back of his motorcycle. You may die, but yeah. Oh shit, y'all are horrible. Y'all ain't got no sense. Shame on you.